She mocked the couple for their appearance. Little did she know the entire hotel now belonged to them. Jessica Reynolds felt her heart race as she walked through the lobby of the Ocean View Grand Hotel. Her life had changed drastically in the last few months, and now she needed to make a decision that would change everything forever. That's when she heard a loud, disrespectful laugh echoing through the elegant space. She turned and saw a blonde woman in a gold dress pointing toward a couple who had just entered the hotel. "Look who's trying to pass as guests here," Tiffany Reynolds said loudly, making sure everyone in the lobby could hear. "I bet they're part of the cleaning staff trying to use the fancy bathrooms." The black couple, he in an impeccable suit and she in a stylish professional dress, maintained their composure despite the public humiliation. Michael Johnson held his wife Jennifer's hand firmly, both accustomed to this kind of situation. "Oh, the second-hand embarrassment," Tiffany continued, turning to her friends. "These people don't know their place. They probably don't even have enough money to pay for one night here." The receptionist, Amanda, looked visibly uncomfortable but hesitated to assist the couple properly. Tiffany was a VIP guest, the daughter of an influential businessman, and her opinion carried weight in the hotel. "Excuse me," Michael said politely, approaching the front desk. "We'd like to speak to the manager, please." "Oh, now they want to talk to the manager," Tiffany laughed, pulling out her phone. "I'm filming this for PictoShare. My followers are going to love this." Jennifer clutched the folder she was carrying against her chest, whispering something to her husband. Her eyes reflected deep pain, but also unshakable determination. "I bet those papers are fake documents," Tiffany said, pointing at the folder. "Or maybe it's a job application for the kitchen staff." The manager, Richard Wilson, appeared with 2 security guards. He'd been alerted about suspicious people in the lobby and arrived ready to handle the situation quickly. "Sir, is there a problem here?" he asked, clearly directing the question at the couple. "There's no problem," Michael replied calmly. "We'd just like to speak to the hotel's owner." Tiffany burst into more laughter. "Now they want to talk to the owner, the nerve. Do you think you can just walk in here and demand an audience with Mr. William?" The hotel's lawyer, Dr. Jonathan Miller, suddenly appeared in the lobby. When his eyes landed on the couple, his face visibly paled, and he began to sweat. "Dr. Jonathan," the manager called, "do you know these people?" The lawyer swallowed hard, his expression completely changing. Several staff members noticed his strange reaction. I need to make an urgent call," Dr. Jonathan stammered before hurrying away. "Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, don't forget to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It really helps us as we're just starting out." Now continuing. William Montgomery, the hotel's owner for over 40 years, slowly descended the lobby stairs, leaning on his cane. At 78, he still carried himself with dignity, but age had taken its toll. "Richard, what's going on here?" he asked, looking directly at the couple. "Mr. William, these people are disturbing our guests and insist on speaking with you," the manager explained. When William's gaze settled on Michael and Jennifer, his legs nearly gave out. He gripped his cane tighter, and for a moment it seemed he might faint. "My God," he murmured, searching for a chair. "See? Even the owner is shocked by their audacity," Tiffany remarked, still filming everything. Jennifer took a step forward, her eyes glistening with unshed tears. "Mr. William, do you remember me?" The elderly man brought his hand to his chest, his breathing growing labored. "Jennifer, my dear girl," he whispered. "Wait a minute," interrupted Tiffany, confused. "You two know each other." Michael opened the folder he was carrying and pulled out some documents. His voice, previously restrained, took on a firmer tone. "Mr. William, 15 years ago, you were admitted to Mount Sinai Medical Center with a severe heart condition. All the doctors had given up on your case." The hotel owner nodded slowly, memories flooding back like an avalanche. You're Dr. Michael? The doctor who saved my life?" A heavy silence filled the lobby. Tiffany stopped filming, her expression of superiority beginning to fade. "It was you who operated on my heart when everyone said it was impossible," William continued, his voice choked. "You spent 3 straight days without leaving the hospital, monitoring my condition." Jennifer stepped closer to the elderly man, gently touching his arm. "And you?" William said, looking at her. Are the architect who redesigned our hotel when we were on the brink of bankruptcy, aren't you? This can't be true, Tiffany murmured, but her voice had lost all conviction. Jennifer Williams, Harvard graduate, luxury hospitality specialist, William confirmed. You worked pro bono on the renovation project that saved this establishment. Dr. Jonathan returned to the lobby with a thick folder, clearly nervous. Mr. William, I've brought all the documents you requested, he said, avoiding eye contact with the couple. What documents? The manager asked, confused. William took a deep breath before answering. Richard, 6 months ago I hired a private investigator to uncover the identity of my anonymous benefactors, people who, over the years, saved this hotel from multiple financial crises. Tiffany felt a chill in her stomach. Something was very wrong here. Dr. Jonathan, you may begin reading, William requested. The lawyer opened the folder with trembling hands. According to the New York Stock Exchange records, over the past 15 years, Dr. Michael Johnson and Mrs. Jennifer Williams have acquired, through shell companies, 65% of the shares in the Ocean View Grand Hotel. The lobby fell into absolute silence. Even the staff paused their work to listen. Furthermore, Dr. Jonathan continued, they invested over $20 million in renovations and improvements to the establishment, always anonymously. Tiffany's phone slipped from her hand and shattered on the floor. This is a lie, she screamed, desperate. My father is rich. He could buy this entire hotel. William looked at her with a sad expression. Young lady, your father lost everything in the stock market last week. He called yesterday to cancel the presidential suite because he can no longer afford it. The revelation hit Tiffany like a punch to the gut. She staggered, needing to lean against the wall. Dorothy Williams, a 62-year-old veteran housekeeper who had worked there for over 20 years, approached the couple with tears in her eyes. Mrs. Jennifer, ma'am, she said, embracing the architect. Do you remember me? Of course I remember you, Miss Dorothy, Jennifer replied, returning the hug. How is your daughter? She graduated from medical school, doctor, thanks to the scholarship you paid for anonymously. Other employees began gathering, sharing similar stories. The waiter, Robert, told how the couple had paid for his cancer treatment. The receptionist, Sarah, revealed they had financed her home when she was evicted. You did all this and without ever revealing yourselves, William asked, moved. We preferred to observe people's true character, Michael explained. We found wonderful employees who deserved recognition and others who, well, needed to rethink their attitudes. Tiffany was pale, realizing the magnitude of the situation. She had spent years humiliating and mistreating the people who were, in fact, the true owners of the hotel. I didn't know, she stammered. Not knowing is no excuse for disrespect, Jennifer said firmly. We treat everyone with dignity, regardless of their social status or skin color. The hotel's security system began displaying old recordings on the lobby screens. The footage showed the couple being mistreated by guests and staff over the years, yet always maintaining their composure and dignity. One particularly painful scene showed Jennifer crying in the bathroom after being prevented from using the main elevator by a prejudiced guest. My God, murmured Amanda, the receptionist. I remember that incident. I should have stood up for you. Don't blame yourself, Jennifer said gently. You were following orders. But now things will change. Tiffany recognized her own mother in one of the recordings, also humiliating the couple years earlier. My mother, she did this to you? She asked, shocked. Your family always treated us this way, Michael confirmed, but we never held a grudge. We believe people can change. Mr. William approached the couple with difficulty, leaning on his cane. I spent months trying to find out who my anonymous benefactors were to make an offer. I wanted to sell my share of the hotel to people who truly cared about it. And why did you make that decision? Jennifer asked. Because I saw how you transformed this place. Not just with money, but with humanity. You took care of the staff, improved working conditions, and created an environment of respect. Dr. Jonathan continued reading the documents. According to the purchase agreement signed last week, Mr. William Montgomery transfers his remaining 35% of shares to Dr. Michael Johnson and Mrs. Jennifer Johnson, making them full owners of the Ocean View Grand Hotel. Tiffany completely broke down, falling to her knees on the marble floor. I'm sorry, she said, weeping. I was awful to you. I don't deserve forgiveness, but I beg. Michael and Jennifer exchanged glances. After a moment of reflection, Jennifer bent down and helped Tiffany up. Everyone deserves a second chance, she said, but real change requires actions, not just words. What will you do with me? Tiffany asked, trembling. We'll offer you an opportunity, Michael replied. You can work here, starting with basic tasks. You'll learn the value of honest work and respect for others. You do that for me after everything I've done. We believe in people's ability to change, Jennifer said. Your mother worked as a maid in this very hotel 30 years ago. She endured the same humiliations you inflicted on others. Tiffany was stunned. My mother worked here? Your father met her when she was an employee here, Mr. William revealed. Ms. Martha was one of the best maids we ever had. But after marrying your father, she wanted to forget her humble beginnings. The revelation hit Tiffany like a slap in the face. Her entire arrogance and prejudice were built on a lie her own family had created. We will transform this hotel, Michael announced to all the gathered staff, not just physically but at its core. From today, any form of discrimination will result in immediate termination, Jennifer added. This will be a place where everyone is treated with dignity and respect. The staff applauded enthusiastically. Many wept with emotion at the historic change unfolding before their eyes. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, please take a moment to like and especially subscribe to the channel. It helps us tremendously as we're just starting out. Now, continuing. 3 months had passed since that transformative day in the hotel lobby. Tiffany had accepted the job offered by the couple and began her journey of redemption working in housekeeping. At first, it was extremely difficult. She had never done any kind of manual labor, and her delicate hands quickly developed calluses. But Ms. Dorothy Williams became her mentor, teaching her not just about cleaning, but also about humility and dignity. There's no such thing as dishonorable work, child, Ms. Dorothy would say, while teaching Tiffany how to properly clean the rooms. What's dishonorable is a lack of character and respect for others. Tiffany discovered that many of the employees she had humiliated had inspiring life stories. Robert, the waiter, had a degree in accounting, but worked at the hotel to support his 3 children after losing his job. Sarah, the receptionist, spoke 4 languages and had given up a promising career in tourism to care for her sick mother. I was a horrible person, Tiffany confessed to Jennifer during one of their weekly conversations. How were you able to forgive me? Because we saw past the mask you wore, Jennifer replied. Your arrogance hid someone who was insecure and afraid of not being accepted. During this time, Michael and Jennifer implemented groundbreaking changes at the hotel. They created a professional training program for employees, offering courses in languages, hospitality, and administration. They also established a scholarship fund for employees' children. Dr. Robert Thompson, a cardiologist and Michael's former colleague, visited the hotel and was impressed by the transformations. Michael, you've created something truly unique here, he said, observing the harmony between staff and guests. This place breathes humanity. It wasn't just us, Michael replied modestly. Every person working here contributed to this change. The hotel's story began spreading through the national media. Journalists from various outlets came to learn about the pioneering experience of a luxury establishment that prioritized human values over profit. Catherine Adams, a reporter from NBC, did a special feature on the transformation. In times of so much hatred and division, you've shown that it's possible to build bridges, she said during her interview with Michael and Jennifer. We believe respect and human dignity are the greatest luxuries we can offer, Jennifer replied. The feature gained national and international attention. The hotel received hundreds of emails from people sharing their own experiences with prejudice and praising the couple's initiative. Tiffany, who had completely transformed over those months, was promoted to reception assistant. She had learned to treat every guest with equal courtesy and respect, regardless of their appearance or social status. You've grown so much, Michael remarked, watching Tiffany politely assist a guest dressed in simple clothing. "You gave me a second chance when I didn't deserve it," she replied. "Now I want to honor that opportunity." One day, William, who had become a kind of senior advisor to the hotel, called Michael and Jennifer into his office. "I have a proposal for you," he said with a mysterious smile. "What is it, Mr. William?" Jennifer asked curiously. "I got a call from the American Hotel and Lodging Association. They want you to replicate this project in other hotels across the country." Michael and Jennifer exchanged surprised glances. "It would be an opportunity to expand our philosophy of humane hospitality," William continued. "Imagine how many lives could be changed." "That's a huge responsibility," Michael reflected, "but also a unique opportunity to make a difference on a national scale," added Jennifer. They decided to accept the challenge. In the following months, they traveled across the country, visiting hotels and training staff, in the new hospitality approach based on respect and human dignity. In New York City, they met Margaret Wilson, a 67-year-old hotel manager who had faced age discrimination and was about to be fired. "Ms. Margaret, your experience is a treasure," said Jennifer. "We'll show the industry that the wisdom that comes with age is irreplaceable." Margaret Wilson's story became a success case. She was promoted to senior consultant and began training younger employees, sharing decades of hospitality experience. In Colorado, they helped transform a family-owned hotel struggling with discrimination issues. The owners, initially resistant, were impressed by the financial and human results of the change. "You've proven to us that doing good is also good business," admitted Richard Thompson, the owner. In New Orleans, they worked with a historic hotel that had been the scene of racist incidents. The transformation was particularly meaningful, given the city's cultural context. Tanya Williams, a young receptionist from the area, became one of the strongest advocates of the new philosophy. "Here, everyone is treated like a person, as it should be," she said in a local interview. Back in Miami, Michael and Jennifer found the Ocean View Grand Hotel completely transformed. The team had grown and become more diverse, including employees of different ages, backgrounds, and experiences. Tiffany, now promoted to guest services supervisor, greeted them with a genuine smile. "How were your travels?" she asked, genuinely interested. "We discovered that our country is full of amazing people waiting for an opportunity," replied Michael. "And that small changes in attitude can lead to big transformations," added Jennifer. Ms. Dorothy Williams, now 65, had been promoted to housekeeping coordinator and was mentoring younger employees. "Dr. Jennifer, you changed my life," she said, emotional. "I never imagined I'd end my career being respected and valued like this." "Ms. Dorothy, you always deserved this respect," Jennifer replied, hugging the veteran employee. "We just made things right." The hotel had become an international model. Delegations from other countries came to study the American experience in humane hospitality. Elizabeth Parker, a French hospitality consultant, was impressed by what she saw. "You've created something revolutionary," she told Michael. "In Europe, we're trying to implement similar initiatives, but you were the pioneers." "True hospitality has no nationality," Michael replied. "It's universal." A year after the first transformations, the hotel threw a grand celebration to honor the results. Employees, guests, and prominent figures gathered in the main lobby. Michael's speech moved everyone present. "We've learned that true wealth isn't in the money we accumulate, but in the dignity we offer and the respect we build together." Jennifer completed her husband's thought. "This hotel has become much more than a business. It's a symbol that a better world is possible, one person at a time." Tiffany, now one of the most respected employees, asked to speak. "I want to publicly apologize for everything I did in the past," she said, her voice trembling. "Michael and Jennifer showed me it's never too late to change, to become a better person." The audience applauded enthusiastically. Many of those present had witnessed Tiffany's transformation over the past year. "Today I understand that respecting people isn't a favor, it's an obligation," she continued. "And that true social class is measured by character, not money." William, now 79 but still sharp and active, stepped onto the makeshift stage. "In nearly 80 years of life, I've never seen such a profound and beautiful transformation as this," he said, looking at Michael and Jennifer. "You've proven that love conquers all." The celebration lasted well into the night. Staff of all levels mingled with guests and visitors, embodying the hotel's philosophy in practice. Robert, the former waiter who had been promoted to maitre d', toasted with champagne beside Sarah, now the guest relations manager. "Who would have thought we'd come this far?" Robert said, moved. "As Ms. Jennifer always says, when we believe in people, they flourish," Sarah replied. Dear listener, if you're enjoying the story, take a moment to like and subscribe to the channel. It means the world to us as we're just starting out. Now back to the story. 2 years later, the project had expanded to over 50 hotels across the country. Michael and Jennifer founded the Humane Hospitality Institute, a non-profit dedicated to promoting respect and dignity in the tourism industry. Their international recognition led to speaking invitations at Harvard, Oxford, and the Sorbonne. But the couple chose to stay grounded, continuing to work directly with people and communities. "We'd rather transform lives than give speeches about transformation," Michael explained in an interview. The Ocean View Grand Hotel had become not just a thriving business, but a benchmark for human rights and inclusive hospitality. Eleanor Simmons, a 72-year-old guest visiting for the first time, was deeply moved by the service. "I've never been treated with such warmth and respect in a hotel," she told Jennifer. "You make a real difference in people's lives." "That's our greatest reward," Jennifer replied, "knowing we've touched people's hearts." Tiffany, now 28, had found her life's purpose. She specialized in elderly care and became a leader in the field. "I've learned that everyone has a unique story and deserves to be heard," she said during a training session for new staff. "Ms. Tiffany, how did you change so much?" a young employee asked. "I had exceptional teachers," she answered, glancing at Michael and Jennifer, who were observing the class. "They taught me that mistakes don't define us. It's how we respond to them." The institute founded by the couple soon expanded beyond hospitality. Restaurants, tourism companies, and even government agencies sought guidance on implementing more compassionate practices. Dr. Charles Mitchell, Miami's tourism secretary, visited the hotel to see the initiative firsthand. "You've created a model we want to replicate across the city's hotel network," he told the couple. "We'd be honored to help," Jennifer said. "But remember, real change starts in people's hearts, not in policies or regulations." Word of the hotel's story reached the English royal family, who were planning an official visit to the US. They insisted on staying at the Ocean View Grand to experience its humane hospitality firsthand. Princess Catherine of England spent a long time speaking with Ms. Dorothy Williams, eager to hear the perspective of a long-time staff member. "You found something truly special here," the princess said. "I found respect, Your Highness," Ms. Dorothy replied simply. "It's all anyone needs to be happy." The royal visit generated even greater international interest in the project. Delegations from various countries began visiting the hotel regularly to learn about the American experience. Harold Thompson, a German consultant on sustainable tourism, spent a week at the hotel studying the methods applied. "You've discovered the secret to true hospitality," he told Michael. "It's not about luxury or extravagance, it's about making people feel valued." "Exactly," Michael agreed. "True luxury is feeling respected and welcomed." The impact of the transformation exceeded expectations. Academic studies showed that hotels adopting the humane philosophy saw a 35% increase in guest satisfaction and a 60% reduction in employee turnover. Professor Dr. Elizabeth Ward from Columbia University conducted research on the phenomenon. "What Michael and Jennifer created transcends hospitality," she said. "It's a new paradigm for human relationships in the workplace." The research revealed that employees in humane hotels reported higher personal satisfaction, better mental health, and more stable family relationships. "When you're respected at work, you carry that positive energy home," explained John Smith, one of the employees interviewed. 3 years after the initial transformation, Michael and Jennifer decided to expand the project into education. They established a hospitality technical school within the hotel itself, offering free training to young people from underprivileged communities. The first class included 30 students aged 16 to 25 from Miami's inner-city neighborhoods. "Here, you'll learn not just hospitality skills, but above all, human values," Jennifer said at the opening ceremony. Destiny Jackson, A 19-year-old from the Bronx was among the first students. "I never imagined I'd step foot in a hotel like this," she admitted. "Now I'm learning to work here with dignity." The 2-year program included paid internships at the hotel. Students developed not only technical skills, but also self-esteem and social awareness. "You're shaping more than professionals," observed social worker Barbara Miller, who monitored the project. "You're shaping citizens who understand their rights and responsibilities." The initiative caught the attention of the federal government, which proposed expanding the model to other states. Michael and Jennifer accepted the challenge, but insisted on maintaining pedagogical control. "We don't want this to become just another public policy," Michael explained. "We want to ensure the humanizing essence is preserved." The school became a success. After 2 years, 98% of graduates secured jobs in tourism and hospitality, many in leadership roles. Marcus Robinson, a formerly homeless student from the first class, became a supervisor at a 5-star hotel in New York City. "This project saved my life," he said at graduation. "It restored my dignity and showed me I can dream big." The school's success drew attention from industry leaders, who began exclusively hiring its graduates. "These young people have something special," remarked Kelly Morgan, HR manager of a major hotel chain. "They combine technical skill with exceptional human sensitivity." Gradually, the humane philosophy spread organically through the industry. Competing hotels adopted similar practices, not out of obligation, but because they recognized the tangible benefits. Richard Parker, owner of a hotel in Washington, D.C., admitted he had initially resisted the changes. "I thought it was just foreign NGO talk," he confessed. "But when I saw the financial results of colleagues who adopted the model, I decided to give it a try." 6 months later, Richard had become one of the biggest advocates of humane hospitality. "My hotel has never been more profitable," he said. "And most importantly, I've never had employees so satisfied and motivated." The transformation created a virtuous cycle. Motivated employees provided better service, leading to happier guests who returned and recommended the hotel to others, increasing revenue and allowing for better working conditions. 5 years after the initial incident in the lobby, the Ocean View Grand Hotel had become much more than a business establishment. It was a symbol of hope and social change. The President of the United States, on an official visit to Miami, made sure to meet Michael and Jennifer in person. "You've shown the world that America knows how to build bridges where others see only walls," he said during the meeting. "Mr. President, we believe every American has the potential to change their reality," Jennifer replied. "We just need opportunities and respect." The conversation with the president led to a national humane hospitality program with Michael and Jennifer as lead consultants. "We want every tourist who visits the U.S. to feel as welcome as if they were in a friend's home," the president declared during the program's launch. Tiffany, now 30, had become the hotel's director of human relations and one of the country's top speakers on personal transformation. "My story proves no one is doomed to repeat their mistakes," she said in her talks. "When we find people who believe in us, we discover potentials we never knew existed." She had married Brian, one of the first students from the vocational school, and together they founded an NGO to support at-risk youth. "Brian taught me that true love is when two people grow together by helping others grow," Tiffany said during their wedding ceremony, held at the hotel itself. The speech moved everyone present, including Michael and Jennifer, who had become the couple's godparents. Mrs. Dorothy Williams, now 68, decided to retire, but continued visiting the hotel as a volunteer, helping with the mentorship program for new employees. "This place is my second home," she said. "Here, I learned that age is no obstacle to contributing and being useful." Ms. Dorothy's retirement party brought together over 200 people, including former employees, guests, and public figures who had come to know her story over the years. "Ms. Dorothy isn't just a retiring employee," Michael said in his speech. "She's one of the builders of this family we've created here." William, now 82, still visited the hotel daily, serving as an advisor and guardian of its institutional memory. "I'll stay here until my last day," he joked. "I need to see how far this beautiful story will go." His constant presence became an attraction for older guests who enjoyed talking to someone who had witnessed the hotel's entire transformation. The 6th edition of the International Humane Hospitality Award, created in honor of the American project, was held at the Ocean View Grand Hotel itself. Over 500 representatives from 50 countries attended, sharing experiences and lessons on inclusive hospitality. "You planted a seed that has bloomed worldwide," said Margaret Thompson, president of the World Hospitality Association, during her speech. Michael and Jennifer, now internationally recognized as pioneers of humane hospitality, remained humble and people-focused. "Our greatest pride isn't the awards we've received," Jennifer said during the ceremony. "It's the lives we managed to touch and transform alongside our own." The hotel's story had inspired a book, a documentary, and even a television series. But Michael and Jennifer insisted that any production about their experience highlight, above all, the people who made the transformation possible. "We're not heroes," Michael emphasized in interviews. "We're just people who chose to believe in human kindness and act on that belief." The project continued to grow and evolve. New initiatives emerged constantly: an international exchange program for employees, a research center for inclusive hospitality, and even an app connecting humanized hotels worldwide. 10 years after the initial episode, the hotel organized a grand celebration. Hundreds of people impacted by the project gathered to share their stories. Marcus Washington, a former homeless man who became a chef, prepared a special dinner for the occasion. 10 years ago, I didn't even have a place to sleep," he said, emotional. "Today, I'm responsible for feeding hundreds of people every day." His story exemplified the transformative power of the project. Marcus had initially been hired to work in kitchen cleaning, but his dedication and his colleagues' support led him to discover his culinary calling. "Here, no one gets left behind," he said. "When someone wants to grow, everyone helps." The 10th anniversary celebration included the launch of a social investment fund, fully capitalized by Michael and Jennifer, aimed at financing humane hospitality projects in underserved communities across the country. "We want every American, no matter where they were born or what hardships they've faced, to have the opportunity to show their potential," Michael explained during the launch. The fund started with a capital of $50 million, with plans to grow through partnerships with businesses and social investors. The first initiative funded was a project in Appalachia, where riverside communities would receive training in sustainable tourism and hospitality. "We're bringing our philosophy to the mountains," Jennifer said, excited about the new venture. The expansion into Appalachia represented a new challenge, adapting the principles of humane hospitality to the region's cultural and environmental specifics. Autumn Rivers, a community leader from a village in Tennessee, welcomed Michael and Jennifer's team with enthusiasm. "Here in the mountains, we've always welcomed people with respect," she said. "But we want to learn how to turn that into job opportunities for our young people." The Appalachian Project became a laboratory for social innovation, blending local traditions with modern hospitality techniques. During one of their visits, Michael and Jennifer were moved to see Indigenous children learning English to welcome foreign tourists without losing their cultural roots. "They're building bridges between two worlds," Jennifer observed, "keeping their identity while connecting with the world." End of story. So, what did you think of this transformation story? Could you imagine being in Tiffany's shoes, discovering that her prejudiced actions had real consequences? Share in the comments which part moved you the most and whether you've experienced or witnessed similar situations. Leave a like if the story touched your heart.